Welcome to IHIP News. Incoming White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles. I want to read a quote that she gave to Axios. She says, "I don't welcome people who want to work solo or be a star. My team and I will not tolerate backbiting, second guessing inappropriately, or drama. These are counterproductive to the mission." And she also says that their plans include rolling back redundant and burdensome regulations, keeping taxes low, cutting government waste through DOGE, the new Department of Government Efficiency, and most importantly, sealing the border and deporting criminals who are in this country illegally. And Pumps, my question to this is, who is going to tell her? Who? Who is going to tell her?
How could she not know?
Who is going to tell her that the biggest drama queen the world has ever seen is her boss? But what's so scary here is in her statement about the roles of the first 100 days of the incoming administration, she mentions DOGE.
First of all, Susie Wiles is also the one that said she was going to keep the clown car out of the Trump administration, not realizing that the clown was the one driving the car. And the DOGE situation, Elon Musk is in charge, full stop. I don't think there's any question about that. He wants to be the star internationally and locally, domestically. And for her to sit there and act like this is a government agency that's really going to cut costs and regulation. These are one billionaire, one multimillionaire that are going to tell working class people and middle class people that they don't need government services. That's what it is at the end of the day. We've got a billionaire oligarchy headed by Elon Musk who has Donald Trump on a leash, and Susie Wiles is disconnected from reality if she thinks anything else.
I mean, one could argue she's been disconnected from reality for a very long time.
True.
But there is this alternate reality that millions of Americans live in. And it's all deeply connected to the disinformation empire that Elon Musk heads. And we just got news this morning that Mark Zuckerberg is canceling fact checkers at Meta. The Shark Tank guy, who's Donald Trump's BFF, is trying to buy TikTok, and he was just appointed to be on the board at Meta. So we have billionaires running all of the media that Americans get. A lot of Americans get their news from social media now. So this is terrifying. But Elon Musk is unraveling, and he has been for a couple of years. And I just want to give you guys a small example. On December 29th of just this last year, so a week and a half ago, he posts on X, "Please post a bit more positive, beautiful, or informative content on this platform." And then yesterday, Joni Askola, I believe he's from Norway, he tweets, "Elon Musk is rapidly becoming the largest spreader of disinformation in human history, hijacking political debates in the process. The EU must take action." Elon Musk, and I'll remind the listener who just said more positive, beautiful, informative on the platform, he replies to this guy and says, "FURETARD."
It's unbelievable. I mean, the hypocrisy, you can't overstate it with MAGA, but it's so commonplace. You kind of just gloss over it. But I found this to be stunning. I don't think anybody doesn't understand that more people get their news from social media than any other source. They're not watching mainstream media, at least in the United States. So for this man who has already said he's going to switch up the algorithms, he himself lies, spreads misinformation, disinformation all the time. And then he's the biggest free speech person unless you say something ugly about him. And then he blocks you, he takes you off the algorithm, all these different tricks. And for him to say FURETARD right after he's calling for more positivity, it's just gross. He's gross. He is a vile, craven individual with obviously huge narcissistic issues.
I think Elon Musk is starting to feel emboldened, and he feels like he's 10 foot tall and bulletproof because now he is meddling in UK politics. And if the United States of America has now signaled Donald Trump has signaled, hey, I'm open for business. I'm transactional. Billionaires come to me. I will make sure there are no consumer protections. And don't get it twisted, listener. Regulations have been taught to you that they are a bad thing in American capitalism. Regulations equal consumer protections. So all of you fiscal conservatives, whenever your little darling gets dicked over because some regulation the Trump administration overturned, remember, regulations are consumer protections, and Democrats need to start messaging that. Full stop. But Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, this guy, I forget his name, the Shark Tank guy, all of these
Kevin
guys.
O'Leary, I think.
Kevin O'Leary, all of these guys wanting to consolidate all of the information. Let's not forget, Jeff Bezos has ruined the Washington Post, where I think their logo is democracy dies in the dark. Democracy dies with Jeff Bezos.
Right.
And here's what's so disgusting. These men, particularly Elon Musk, is rich because of government subsidies. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, all of these people are rich from the American worker. And they have such disdain and care so little about the masses that the minute that they saw that Trump was in office, they immediately showed their true colors and just ran and cuddled up right next to him. And the American capitalistic system is the loser in this. The way they want to run it always is going to lead to oligarchy. When you don't have regulations / consumer protections, and you allow workers to be paid shitty wages, it's always going to lead to this. And I predict, listener, that there is going to be a strange bedfellow uniting between the Steve Bannons of the world and the left. And here's why. Steve Bannon is a grifter. He's a piece of shit. I cannot stand him. I want that known. But he has been browbeating on his war room all of these oligarchs, and he sees how dangerous this consolidation of power is, and he personally knows how transactional and morally bankrupt Donald Trump is. So when Steve Bannon has a siren on his head running around the war room saying this is dangerous, this is bad, I predict as this goes on, there is going to be a really weird coming together in this country, because nobody at the end of the day, unless you're a billionaire, is going to want this form of government. And I hope that the EU, Macron has been speaking out. I hope that the Prime Minister of the UK, I hope that they get serious and start banning these social media platforms in their countries, because Trump isn't going to do it.
No. It's
dangerous. All of the studies have shown how dangerous this is. We have a conspiracy theorist, Donald Trump, and his wife, Elon Musk, or I could invert that are both conspiracy theorists, dipshits that are on drugs, in my opinion, both of them, one pharmaceutical, one ketamine, running the country.
It really is astonishing. And I've been watching the Elon Musk evolution just over the past 3 or 4 days. You've got Germany coming out talking about him trying to wield influence, Britain, Norway now, and then Australia. I thought this was interesting. They want to limit campaign contributions or campaign finance contributions to $20,000, because I believe they saw what was going on in the U.S. and Elon Musk buying a presidency. So my question is, obviously, Elon Musk has it in his convoluted brain that he is going to be the superpower. He bought Twitter. He controls information. He controls satellites. Soon he thinks he's going to control Mars. So at what point? So world domination is what I think Elon Musk is thinking. Do you agree with that, or do you think it's less grand?
I mean, I don't know that I can pinpoint. I think that this is a person that's drunk on power, and he has a bunch of harebrained, crazy ideas. My gut is that there is something very sinister going on with Vladimir Putin. That's my gut. And so is that world domination? Probably. But I think you're dealing with a lot of really unstable, toxic people. It's like the whole Trump administration. If you think about the worst, most toxic relationship you've ever had in your life, and you get back together with the person, you break up, and you get back together and they gaslight you. That's what the American public has done with Donald Trump. Not all of the American public. I mean, there are tens of millions of us that hate MAGA. But I really fear that all of these oligarchs have seen how easily manipulatable Donald Trump is. He is the weakest president we've ever had. He does not stand up to anybody for anything. He is transactional first, foremost, until the day he dies. It will be a transaction. But I want to shift gears now and talk about yesterday, January 6th. Kamala Harris had to certify an election that she lost. And Kamala Harris stood up there, a class act, and did her job. And I was mortified at this video that I'm about to play for you. This is Senator Fisher from Nebraska and her piece of shit, crusty, white, racist, sack of shit, flea bag, parasite, unfuckable husband, Bruce.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you especially for your work. Thank you. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, sure.
Pumps, running my interior design business means that I'm wearing lots of hats, and my personal phone has become my business phone. And before I knew it, I'm juggling calls day and night. My team's growing, and it becomes impossible to manage my personal number. That's why I'm so happy that I have found OpenPhone.
What I like about OpenPhone is it uses AI-powered call transcripts and summaries, so you'll have a summary of your phone call with action items as soon as you hang up.
Listener, OpenPhone is the #1 business phone system. They help you separate your personal life from your growing business. For just $15 a month, the cost of a few coffees, you get complete transparency and visibility into everything happening with your business phone number. It's affordable and easy to use. Whether you're a one-person operation or need help managing calls automatically or have a large team and need better tools for efficient collaboration, OpenPhone is a no-brainer. Plus, they've won multiple awards by G2 for software reviews and are trusted by over 50,000 businesses. Right now, OpenPhone is offering 20% off your first 6 months when you go to openphone.com/IHIP. That's OpenPhone.com/IHIP for 20% off 6 months. Openphone.com/IHIP. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge.
I'll tell you what, I saw that video and I thought there has never been a weaker, more despicable beta male standing with his wife. He disrespects the office of the vice president, which it's his right. He didn't want to vote for Kamala Harris. That's fine. He didn't want her to be the president. Great. He disagrees with her politically. Great. He had no respect for the office. He acted that way in front of the entire world. His wife was being sworn in, and he cannot act in good faith with any social graces. I mean, I just thought, go back to Nebraska and fuck yourself.
And here's something that I think is really important to say. That man, there are a lot of people that are that man. And listener, you know we live in Oklahoma, and I know, and I've seen a lot of crusty white men like that are full of nothing but racism from top to bottom. They're sexist, racist, elitist, and they're unfuckable. And I just want to throw that in. But I want to tell you what his wife said in a press release. She says, "I am humbled by the faith and trust Nebraskans have placed in me as I take this oath for the 3rd time. I will not break that trust, and I will not betray that faith. I ask for your prayers for wisdom and strength that I may know and follow God's guidance as I continue to serve the people and the state that I love." And what I have to say to you, Senator Fisher, is you are the hypocrite that everybody hates. To sit there and act like you're some big Christian. And you didn't apologize to the First Lady. You didn't whack your husband with his cane when he treated her like that. It is despicable. All of this, that type of white, crusty racism. How many times do you think that man called her the N-word?
Oh,
During the race.
incalculable.
It's not, you cannot even count it. And this type of white, racist, this type of patriarchal white racist, and the women that are complicit in it, and the family members that are complicit in this type of sack of shit racism is abhorrent. It is a cancer in this country, and at the epicenter of it is this evangelical Christianity elitism. And they think they are elitist. They believe that God loves them more than he loves any other person. It is a total cancer. And for those of you that live on the coast, you're not really around this type of Christianity, but I'm here to tell you the worst human beings on the planet are these evangelicals, these white racist evangelicals. They are entitled. They are disgusting. And I'm just going to emphasize it again. That husband of hers is unfuckable. But this type of hypocrisy is so disgusting. And I want to close with this. Kamala Harris did an amazing job as a candidate. She, she had 100-something days, and she was prepared. It's difficult to run for president. Nobody's ever going to agree with anything that everybody says or does, but she is a dedicated public servant. She is a class act. She swore all of these people in. She certified an election that she lost. She has more cojones than Donald Trump and his wife, Elon Musk, or any of these pieces of shit could ever have. And it is embarrassing to me. It is embarrassing to me how many Americans are complicit with white people like this. It disgusts me to the core, the absolute core of my being.
I couldn't agree more. He could not look her in the eye, and I just thought, you're a weak piece of shit. And the fact that his wife comes out on the moral high ground, it's repulsive.
But this is what they do.
This is what they do.
This is what they do. I see this in Oklahoma all the time. All the time. This type of Christian exceptionalism. And it is the epicenter of the incoming Trump administration. But they are about to get fucked because he has not been parading around with all of the evangelical preachers. And so what Trump has done is expose them for what they worship more than they do their religion: money and power. They worship money and power, and particularly over people of color and women. These white men, this patriarchal bullshit. Hopefully this is the last stand. But for all of our listeners out there that feel helpless and hopeless, stop. We have to rebel against this. The way Trump is already starting to roll out this transition is not going to be sustainable. The American public is not going to allow Elon Musk to have this much power.
I hope you're right. But I've lost confidence in at least half the American public.
There's no question. But when their taxes are raised on the working class, and Trump, once he's in power and people remember what a nut and how chaotic he is, just wait. I mean, is he going to do a bunch of crazy, unhinged stuff? Yes, he is. There's no question that's coming. But when he is in power, his approval rating will drop dramatically, in my opinion.
I hope you're right.
Okay, we'll see you guys tomorrow.